Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So in today's video is going to be week 5 of 60 books in 60 days. I can't believe I'm already saying week 5. It feels like it's floating by so quickly. If you don't know us already, I got inspired to do this challenge by Gina Lillian. Please remember to subscribe and check out her playlist of 60 books in 60 days, which will be left in the description alongside my 60 books in 60 days playlist if you would like to follow along with the episodes if you haven't caught up already. I don't know what I'm going to be starting Monday off with. I'm obviously trying to mood read. I would like to get more fantasy into this week just because I have been reading a lot of romance especially, and I would like to switch it up a little bit. I think that would help me a lot. Also, audiobooks are also helping me a lot throughout last week, so I'm going to expect it to be the same this week as well. I'll give you all an update once I have started Monday's book. So I thought I'd do a quick update. I finished Emma by Jane Austen as Monday's book, and I actually really enjoyed this. I am going to rate this 4 stars, and that's because I did really enjoy this and it kept me entertained. I really enjoyed the characters. To be fair, I was like very controversial about the characters, but I loved how our main male character always kept our female main character in check when she was like, you know, doing something she shouldn't have been doing. He was always like making sure she knew that what she was doing just wasn't right, and I really enjoyed that. I did watch the movie beforehand, so I did kind of have some of the movie in my head as well. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, to be completely honest. I enjoyed it. I don't really have much. I've got to set my thoughts to this just because obviously it's a classic and I read it in one day. I don't normally do that with classics, so I am a bit, I don't know what to think of it. All I know is that I did enjoy it and I have read it for today's book. It is now Wednesday and I didn't film anything yesterday because I don't know what was happening, but I was just so tired that I kept sleeping. But I did get some reading done on Monday and like Tuesday morning-ish, only because of audiobooks, and that was very helpful. So I thought I'd do like a massive update because I have quite a few books to talk about. With the first few, I am going to read you my review just because it has been so long. I can't remember the last update, but I did read Emma and I finished that and I rated that 4 stars. Then afterwards I've listened to quite a few audiobooks. I'm just going to talk about them now. So the first audiobook I listened to was Dearly Devoted Dexter, and this is the second book in the Dexter series, and honestly 2 stars. Again, I don't know how I'm feeling about this series at this point. My Goodreads review said, I felt as though in this book Dexter's character was lacking depth and personality, but he is still an interesting character. I would have just loved some growth as it is the second book in the series. Everything wrapped up too quickly and there were some big jumps. For example, when 2 characters became attached to each other, it felt like it came out of left field. The book lacks the strength and charm that the TV show has. I felt like Dexter was surrounded by cops who were uninterested in doing police work. The writing was weird in some places, so it did make it hard to follow along at times. That was my review for this one. Then I decided, oh, these audiobooks are nice to listen to, and I have all the Dexter book on audio, so I continued with Dexter in the Dark. By the way, this was on Monday and this was on Tuesday. Just thought I would recap the days here. I'm getting confused myself at this point. So Dexter in the Dark, I also rated 2 stars, and I said it's sad to see such a good series descend to this level. This book was a real disappointment, but the author goes too far even with his idea of how someone becomes a sociopath. According to the author, every child who is abused as a child grows up to a serial killer. In the book, Rita's 2 kids both become sociopaths because their father abused them, but that isn't how it happens in the real world. Not all serial killers were abused, and not everyone who is abused becomes a serial killer. Nothing much happens. There are murders, but it is impossible to keep straight who is killing who. And the murders and the murderers are almost irrelevant. I felt like there's no relevance to the story or mystery. I felt like Dexter's character in this book is a major downfall. And you're probably wondering, well then why did you keep it as 2 stars? I don't even know how to rate these books. I am finding it a little bit difficult. But the first book was definitely 2 stars. Second book, I could probably say 2 stars again. And I would probably say this one is most likely more 1.75 stars. But then again, I generally don't know. I have got to sit and think about my ratings a little bit more. But then again, I am happy to keep this one at 2 stars because I have read Dexter by Design since then. But again, I rate it 2 stars. I think I'm comfortable with rating all these 2 stars, but then I'm like, am I being too nice at times? Because all I wrote for this review was this series is becoming less memorable the further I get into it. And that's just because I feel like the books are getting worse and less interesting and more boring, and I feel like it's being dragged out. Not much is happening. I'm happy with rating it 2 stars because I'm intrigued of like noticing noticing the differences from the TV show to the book, especially because the TV show, like, I absolutely love, and so, you know, it is intriguing and I am finding it nice. I am okay with rated 2 stars. If you don't know, 2 stars means, for me personally, it was okay. I think I might probably end up rating the rest of the series 2 stars unless it gets any worse than what it already has. But I would definitely say I am disappointed in series this far, just because I was expecting to absolutely love this series, devour it, and it just wasn't like that. But then again, I was expecting it to be like the TV show, and obviously the similarities, but no, the books are nowhere as good, and I never thought I'd say that. Like, the TV show is definitely 100% better, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't know how the producers made it so that the TV show was so good when they was working from, like, these books. It sounds really horrible when I say that, but I'm just glad the TV show worked out. Okay, so Dearly Devoted Dexter I read on Monday, Dexter in the Dark I read on Tuesday, and then Dexter by Design I also read on Tuesday. And then later on Tuesday I did start One Dark Window by Rachel Gillett. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I said that wrong. But unfortunately, I read, no joke, I was reading it on my Kindle. No joke, I read 3 pages and then I fell asleep. And not because of the book. It's not boring. It's just because I don't know what was happening yesterday. I don't know if I'm just so drained or I generally don't know. But I was pretty much falling asleep all the time. So that is how far I got with that. Not very far. So I haven't got an update on any of that. So earlier this morning, on Wednesday, I started Dexter is Delicious, which is the 5th book in the series. And I'm not far into it, I don't believe, so far. I just don't know how to feel about the series, but I'm binge reading these now just because I kind of want the series to be over. And it sounds horrible when I say it like that, but I just want it to be done. I want to know that I've read it. Now, you're probably thinking, why don't you just DNF the series, because that's still technically, like, off your physical TBR. It's because I do want to finish the series. I own them, and I've owned them for a few years, and they are nice, like, to listen to, and then I can count them towards the goal, if you know what I mean. And so I don't feel like I have to DNF them. Like, they're not that awful. If I was physically reading them, on the other hand, I don't think I could get through it. I'm not going to lie. So that is my update. That was so confusing, I know, because I don't think I finished my updates on Monday. No, I didn't, because then I read the 2nd book of Dexter. I didn't update anything for yesterday, and I also didn't update anything for this morning. So I need to get better. Hopefully I'll stop slacking for the rest of this video, because we obviously still have a few days. We're only on Wednesday. But believe it or not, I'm actually 2 books behind as I speak, which is shocking to me. Amazing. Now, I was thinking, I was like, oh no, I'm 2 books behind. Does that mean I don't read for 2 days? Like, what does that mean? And I did decide that if I am a few books ahead, amazing, that is great. So I will still read a book for each day, but then I have those extra ones to fall back on in case I can't read that day, or I don't get to read that day for some reason, you know. And then I could be like, for example, I'm 2 books ahead now. Let's say I was to not read something today, I've got a book to fall on, so I could just be like, oh, now I'm 1 book ahead type thing. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to still try and read a book a day, but I've got those books ahead that I can easily fall on. And if I end this challenge with we're still having books ahead, then that is also amazing, because yes, this is 60 books in 60 days, but if I read more than 60, that's even better. I can't imagine me doing so, but I'm just saying. So I did think about that last night, and I was like, that's just the most sense it makes for me, because this challenge I'm doing to tackle my physical TBR is what I feel would be the best way to do so. That is that long-winded update. Obviously it's still Wednesday. I will hopefully come back to you all later once I've read some more, and I will speak to you all later. I mean that. I'm gonna pick up this camera again today. That's my goal. Okay, I know that this is a very bad angle, but I thought I'd just do a quick update. So I have actually read quite a bit. It is like 4:30 in the afternoon. I finished Dexter is Delicious because I only had a little bit left when I did the clip from this morning. Did finish this. Currently I've rated it 1 star, but I don't know if I'm just being really like harsh with the series now. So I might end up like putting it back to 2 stars, just because I feel like the series in a whole is like it's okay, and that's what 2 stars means for me. But for this one I did put Dexter becoming a father is great. Him improving himself is also amazing, but for him it is not for me as a reader, because now the book has become boring and mundane, just because I feel like his character since becoming a father has just become more bland, trying to better himself, which is like, great, go you, better yourself, because now you're a father, now you have a kid. But for the story itself, considering he is, you know, supposed to be a serial killer, it just makes it so much boring, because he's trying to better himself, stop who he is, and I don't know, it's it turns so much. But the plot of this I just also found more boring than the rest, and that is why I rate it 1 star, because I did not care. So that, I don't know, I'm mixed feelings with the rating for this one. And then I got to chapter 15, which is page 189 of Double Dexter, and again it seemed like a 2-star average. And honestly, I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about the rest of the series, just because I do have the same feelings about all of the books currently, but hopefully I'll have more thoughts once I have finished this one. I would say with this one, I am liking it a little bit better than I did this one, which is what's making me think it might be a 2-star again, but we'll see. I've still got quite a bit of pages left in that one anyway. But that is my update for now. I still have a lot of time to do quite a bit of reading. That is all I have for you for right now. It is now Thursday, and yesterday I didn't update much. I did do 1 or 2 I think, but afterwards I actually read quite a lot, and I'm like shocked. But yesterday was like an audiobook day, and I was like playing Sims while I was live and stuff, and then once I finished my live again, it was still like audiobook go. So that is why I've read so much. I just want to clarify that and be upfront. So I can't remember the last thing I said, but I think I told you all I was in the middle of reading Double Dexter. I think I was on chapter 15. I could be wrong, but I did finish this, and I rated this one 2.25 stars. This one was definitely my favourite out of the series, just because I feel like, as I put in my review here, I said I found the plot of the story a little bit more interesting, but the characters still have no depth to them. I was more invested in the storyline of this book. I'll definitely say it's also way too long. There was times where I was still getting bored or things was dragging on, but it was the best one out of them all. And then I obviously continued the series with Dexter's Final Cut, and this is the second to last book. I did rate this one 2 stars. I have the same opinions about this as the rest of the series, and that is why I don't really have much to say about it. I struggled with the characters, with the story. It's way too long. I felt like these books were getting longer and more dragged out, and so I was beginning to struggle. And then finally we have Dexter is Dead, which is shorter, thankfully. I also rated this one 2 stars, because again I have the same thoughts about it, and I don't want to just keep saying the same things over and over again about the series. So yeah, I finished the Dexter series. I completed it, which is amazing, and I am happy with what I got read. What helped me a lot yesterday was I was making a document for the series I'm in the middle of, which I will be doing a video on soon, and obviously I was listening to the audiobooks while doing that, and that took me forever, say so myself. So that was very helpful to me. That is why I read so much. So I read these yesterday. I haven't read anything yet today, but I believe I'm now 4 books ahead of schedule, if I've worked that out correctly. I've got to like rework out everything. I haven't looked at it for a while. The next book I'm going to be reading, I am still indecisive about. I've noticed the further we're getting into the challenge, the harder it is finding it to choose my next book. I think that's because I'm at the point now where I'm kind of sick of reading. Like I'm feeling the pressure again. I don't feel stressed about it. Like, I'm not stressed, but I'm definitely feeling the pressure of like every single day being like, oh, I need to finish a book, I need to get a book read. And then it's like, but what book do I read? And I don't know what I fancy, and yada yada yada. So that is my problem currently. I am between continuing with One Dark Window. I'm just going to start this again because I only read 3 pages and I don't remember them. I think I'm maybe starting the guest, or maybe savor it. I don't know. I did try and figure it out before coming to film, but I just generally can't decide. So I will let you know once I know, but I am hoping that today will be a chill reading day. I am feeling tired again though, so we'll see how long that lasts. I thought I'd do a quick update, as I didn't update yesterday and I forgot to do any updates today, but I haven't finished a book. I have been reading, but I will update more and go into more detail tomorrow. Okay everyone, it is Sunday. It has been a while since I have done a proper update. I can't even remember the last thing I said. I don't even know how this vlog looks because this week just hasn't been my week. I don't know what is happening, but I hope that next week will be better. I'm so sorry for how this vlog has turned out, but I thought I would try my best to make it as good as I possibly can today, because it is Sunday. It's the last day. This video needs to go up tomorrow. It might be a little bit long. So okay, so I have a few updates. The reason why I haven't really been filming much is because I haven't been reading much. My days have been a little bit busier. So specifically yesterday was on the busier side. I didn't really have time to read, but lucky enough I was books ahead, so it doesn't really matter. And then Wednesday I just wasn't feeling my best. Basically I think I was coming down with a bug, but then I was fine the next day, and just mentally it just wasn't a good day. But now today I am feeling ill again. Like, I've got a sore throat, my ear hurts, I've got a bit of a headache. I am starting to feel a little bit better than what I was last night and earlier, which is good. So I don't know if it's just like a 24-hour thing or what is going on. That is why this video has been all over the place this week. Then I have also been reading something. So Wednesday I did read a few pages, and also Thursday I read a few pages of Daisy Hate, and I don't know if it's the book itself or me, but I'm just finding it really hard to get into it and enjoy it. I'm not even sure what page I'm on because I'm reading it on my Kindle, but this is what I've been reading for the past 2 days. I've been reading a few pages. I don't know how to feel about it. I have a feeling this series just isn't for me. It's not that I hate it, but I just also don't have like the urge to pick it up. But I honestly thought I'd enjoy the Daisy Hates books a little bit more than I did Magnolia Parks. Like I said, I don't know if it's me. So yeah, I don't know if I'm the problem or if it's the book, but I do also kind of feel myself going into a reading slump. Again, I don't know if it's my mood or because I'm reading 60 books in 60 days, you know? Honestly, I don't know what's happening. But then I was a little bit naughty and I have added to my physical TBR, which I know isn't the point, but I brought these books because I really wanted this series, and the first 2 books I had already read in the series and I loved the series. I did add them, and then yesterday my dad kindly brought me 4 books, and I mean, was in the works. Could I say no? No, I couldn't. So I have added, but I don't even have an excuse. I can't even find an excuse because I don't have one. So I thought I'd show you what books they are, and then I'll also try and count them towards my goal, because at the end of the day I just want to get 60 books off my physical TBR, and then hopefully I can still be obviously continuing with getting books off my physical TBR afterwards. So we have The Crash by Frida McFadden with these stunning sprayed edges. I absolutely love Frida McFadden's book so much, and this one I haven't really heard too much about it. I actually don't know anything about it, but I have a feeling I'm going to love it because it is Frida McFadden. I feel like this is going to be a quick read. It might even help me towards the 6 books in 60 days challenge. Should I be reading the new ones towards the challenge? Probably not. That might be a little bit of cheating, but I'm going to add my own little rules to it. So if I decide to read this, obviously it is part of my physical TBR. And then we have Out of the Woods, and again with these stunning sprayed edges. I don't know what this is about. I believe this is the 3rd book. Is it? Or am I making that up? I actually don't know if this is part of a series. I might be making that up. But again, don't know much about it, but I love Hannah Boehm Young, and I just couldn't pass up these sprayed edges. Then we have Spiral, which is the 2nd book from Collide, and I did really enjoy Collide, and so I wanted the 2nd book, and again I couldn't pass up on the sprayed edges because it matches the 1st book. So this one is, I think, another hockey romance, I want to say. Yes, hockey player, and obviously I love my hockey romances. This is another one, and then this is the whole reason why I went into the works in the first place, because I was going to pick up this one and then my dad kindly said that he would buy it, but along with the other book. It's Wildside, because obviously if you watched week 1 of the reading vlogs, I read the 2nd book of this and it was 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. So I have been wanting to continue with this series, but obviously it wasn't out at that point. It recently came out and I couldn't help myself because I wanted to read it, but I was like, how am I going to read it where it's part of the challenge because it's not on my physical TBR? Then I did think of buying it, which again is cheating, but I'm making my own rules up as we go along, clearly. This one is, it sounds interesting. It says, when my nephew's guardianship is contested, I decide I'll do whatever it takes to keep him in Rose Hill, even if it means marrying the enemy. A man who is secretive, broody, and completely infuriating. His work takes him away for weeks on end and brings him back covered in mysterious bruises. Ones he won't talk about. In fact, we barely talk at all, which would be fine except he's not talking, he's staring, and the way he looks at me is borderline indecent. The tension between us has always been palpable, but living under the same roof is a dangerous temptation. I swore I would never forgive him, but that was before I knew the man behind the mask, the one who's fierce and protective, gentle and patient, the one who shows up for us when we need him most. He's not at all who I thought he was, and that makes hating my husband so much harder and loving him just a little too easy. I want to read this right now. This is what I am in the mood for, and because I feel like I'm going into a reading slump, I do need to kind of pick up what I fancy, even if it means cheating a little bit. But it's still my physical TBR. And then finally, I brought this whole series, but I just brought the 4 books in because these are the only ones that I haven't read, so they have been added onto my physical TBR. And when I do buy books, I am upfront and real with you all. So I brought the series. I'm not sure what the series is called actually. Oh, the Fallen Men series. So I brought not all the books, but some of them. I'm not sure what order these go in, but we have After the Fall, Inked in Lies, Good Gone Bad, and also Dead Man Walking. So these are the other 4 from the series that I have added. I think that's all I have. As you can probably see from what I've been sitting in, this is my new reading chair. It is so comfy. I love it. And this will be the first time that I'm actually reading in it. So this is what's motivated me to actually try and get things done. Well, read more specifically. I'm going to put Daisy Hates down. I am going to read Wild Side because this is what I'm feeling like, and I'm in a reading slump and I don't want to fall behind because I believe, I actually don't know, I'm 1 or 2 books ahead. I think if I don't complete a book today, then I'll be 1 book ahead. Yes, I think I might be correct on that. So I'm determined to read this. We'll see how it goes. If I can't read this, then it's me. I just really don't want to fail. So that's what's happening. That is what I'm going to get up to. I'm going to start that and I'll give you all an update once I have one. I am now on chapter 11 of Wild Side, and so far I am really enjoying it. I love the banter of the 2 main characters at the beginning. It's definitely an interesting start to a book because it's kind of like, not really a mystery, but it's like, why did the sister leave him as the guardian type thing, and that is what you're trying to figure out because it just doesn't seem, I mean, it kind of makes sense because our female main character's sister obviously thought bad of her family, especially her parents, and that's what it seems like. But I don't know, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's definitely a different dynamic than what I normally read. I have never had this happen in a book before, so it's definitely interesting and different from what I normally read. But I'm going to continue reading now, and hopefully it will just keep getting better and better and better. Okay, so I thought I would do an update from yesterday. It is now a Monday and I haven't yet started the other video also, and it's like Monday's almost over. But I thought I'd quickly end this because I need to get this video up and edited. It's a stressful time. So last night I did actually finish Wild Side by Elsie Silver. I didn't do any updates because it was really late, but this was a 5-star read. I absolutely loved this book so much. I loved every single part of it. Again, with like Wild Eyes, I can't think of a bad thing about this book. I devoured it. It was amazing. If you don't know what it's about, it is about Reese. Sorry if I said that wrong. It's about our main character, and he is the guardian to our female main character's nephew. Sorry, the battery died. Yeah, that's the basis of this book. There's marriage at convenience in this book, the tropes I love, and the male main character is like the sweetest to our female main character. Love this. Battery is dying. So thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and remember to check out the 60 books and 60 playlist in the description below. If you're watching to the end, make sure to leave this emoji. Also, quick note, sorry that this vlog is all over the place and not my best, but hopefully next week will be better. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye.